Warning: the following podcast contains strong language which some listeners may find offensive.
Together, but still it's farewell, and maybe we'll come back to WWE, who can tell? I guess there's only Vince to blame. He's out of touch. Will things ever be the same again? Do. It's the time for news.
Oh shit.
Wrestling podcast news video. If you didn't know by the final countdown, there's a lot of Bryan Danielson news this week. So let's just talk about it. There's also a lot of people leaving WWE this week, which we will start with immediately because Kevin Owens' contract is expiring sooner than everybody thought. Fightful.com put a thing out earlier in the week saying Fightful has been made aware that one WWE contract expires much sooner than originally thought. Kevin Owens did an interview in May 2018 with TVA Sports where he stated he'd signed a 5-year deal that will carry him into 2023. However, as it turns out, the deal is actually now up January 2022, according to WWE sources. Fightful said, we've learned from a WWE official that WWE restructured several contracts ahead of the pandemic, and for whatever reason, Kevin Owens' deal was changed to expire in January 2022. We were not told of any additional terms of the deal or specifically why it was shortened, but we will work to find out if any other deals were adjusted. WWE has had contract issues of late with Pete Dunne and Adam Cole, but Fightful were told by officials that they're aware of when Owens' deal would be up. Owens' real name, Kevin Steen, has been with WWE since they announced his signing in August 2014. And KO added a little bit of fuel to the fire in a tweet that he pretty much immediately deleted, but people are quick with those screenshots.
People are well quick with that shit.
Of the coordinates of Mount Rushmore, the name of his faction with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks in PWG. He also changed his location to almost there, and the Young Bucks changed theirs to there.
Oh.
So possibly very, very soon, Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen will be All Elite.
Whoa.
Exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting. It's a shame though that
it's a shame.
I don't feel Kevin Owens ever really got started when he left NXT. Apart from his Universal title run, which
you've seen her in his first match, mate.
I know that, but I mean, his Universal title run didn't feel like a meaningful run, did it?
It was a long run. It was just it was the way it ended kind of left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths because obviously fed them to Goldberg and took the belt off him.
Yeah. Obviously, everything with Jericho was superb.
Well, that match was meant to be the Universal,
Mania,
wasn't it? At Mania.
Yeah.
And instead, they put it for the US title and the damn squid. Yeah, it's weird with Kevin Owens because he has been very stop-start. But you look at him and he's a guy they literally feature on TV every week.
Yeah.
Even if it's just in a nothing thing, they'll make sure to put him on the TV. He's definitely, I think, out of all the people that are kind of jump and shift from WWE to AEW, this one feels like a real game changer for me.
Yeah.
Like, if he goes, I think that's big. That's very, very big. Obviously, Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole both gone, and that is also extremely big.
Yeah.
given the fact that as well they were like offered like
Silly money.
silly money. Apparently, Vince actually said Bryan could compete in the G1 while under contract with WWE to try and keep him there.
Fucking hell.
And
I know he said in it was like the media scrum the other week after he came out All Out that they said they'd put a very good offer down to him, which allowed him to work outside of WWE on occasions. But I didn't realise it was the G1.
yeah, the fact that they were like willing to move heaven and earth to keep him and he's moved like kind of speaks a lot about like the sort of the way the wrestling industry is at the moment. It's a really exciting time for me. It's probably now the closest we've got to like the Monday Night Wars, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah.
And with like guys who like literally, you've just got to look at Kevin Owens. He was main event with Roman Reigns not that long ago.
Only a matter of a couple of months ago. Daniel Bryan as well.
As was Danielson, yeah. It's wild.
It is
wild. He's not the only one whose contract's coming up, though, is he?
No, that's true. Isn't much of an update, but update nonetheless. News of Kevin Owens' deal expiring in January. Apparently, I think this is from Fightful, have gained dozens of inquiries about the status of longtime friend and foe Sami Zayn. There were posts incorrectly attributing Fightful as the source, but reporting that Zayn's deal was up in the fall of 2021, as it was listed in their contract expirations form on the site. That actually came from an article interview with TVA Sports in April of 2019, noting that Zayn had signed a 3-year deal shortly before leaving for his operations, so with sick time often added to the length of the contract, he still has about 2.5 years left on his current deal. In reaching out to WWE sources about Zayn's contracts and the length of it, all they were told was that it's not up in the fall. Zayn has not commented on the matter as of yet, and Meltzer has added that Zayn's contract is indeed up this year.
So probably the end of the year, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
I wonder if Kevin's going to Mount Rushmore with his friend Sammy.
I'd like to see him there.
It's weird. Like, again, another guy who, like, these two guys are both, for me, game changers. Like, they're both excellent in what they do. And recently, they've both been kind of like criminally underused, I think. Like, the two guys, you could put them at the top of the card for WWE. They're that good.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, for me, is one of, like, the best wrestlers in WWE right now.
Just criminally underused.
That being said, the amount of dream matches he's got outside the WWE at the moment, the fact that we could get El Generico versus Danhausen, we're living in that world, especially since Danhausen's been stealing El Generico's gimmick periodically in Ring of Honor. That alone, the dream
That's
match.
exciting.
But then you've got to look at like the fact that if he goes to AEW, we could get Sami Zayn versus CM Punk. We could get Sami Zayn versus Kenny Omega, Adam Cole. We didn't get Adam Cole versus Sami Zayn.
No.
I think he probably did wrestle El Generico on PWG, but I'd have to check on that. And even some of the guys like Jungle Boy, which is the one that everyone keeps throwing around, Orange Cassidy, Sami Zayn, hilarious.
Yeah.
Be a great man. Like, and then there's the possibility of what if he does the G1?
Sami Zayn at the G1. Fuck
Sami Zayn versus Okada. Sami Zayn versus Shingo. Stop it. The fucking hose out.
My basement's flooded.
What if we get the vertical drop brainbuster of Tomohiro Ishii versus the brainbuster? Oh, mate, I can't. Kevin Owens getting the package pile driver back finally.
Yeah, man.
Oh. What if we get a Lucha Brothers versus Steiner Rico? Motherfucker. I'm gonna need the fucking cold shower after this. Let's move on before I start gushing some more. So WWE has announced that Gable Steveson has officially signed with the company He will have a private training facility at the University of Minnesota while he finishes. I put Uno here, but it's actually uni.
I was going to say, what is he just got a professional career in Uno at the moment?
Also correct. Now, while he finishes university,
I see.
He'll have a private training facility, basically teaching him how to wrestle. So once he finishes university, he'll be like Kurt Angle ready, basically.
Kurt Angle ready.
He's already said he's gonna be the next Kurt Angle. I think he will be.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it? He's awesome. Looks very, very imposing. He's just seems like a really nice fella as well.
Yeah. I'm excited. Very excited. Yeah. Moving on.
I'm in mind.
Yeah.
Evans is his manager.
B. Evans.
B. Evans.
The Undertaker and the New Day will be in a new interactive horror movie on Netflix entitled Escape the Undertaker. The film stars The Undertaker and The New Day, obviously, as the trio of Big E, Kofi, and Woods try to escape Undertaker's haunted mansion, with traps and challenges. Viewers will be able to choose the path that the New Day take whilst trying to make their escape, and the film will premiere on October the 5th of this year. Netflix has been experimenting with these interactive films for a few years, specifically the Black Mirror one called Bandersnatch. There's also a Minecraft one, there's a Bear Grylls one as well. WWE signed a deal with Netflix back in February of 2019 and have produced films on there, such as The Main Event, which featured... who was in that? Keith Lee,
Otis.
Yeah.
I think Leo Rush was in it.
Leo Rush, yeah. I think Amos might be in it as well, possibly. But yeah. That was on there, and also the Vince McMahon docu-series is set to premiere on Netflix at some point in the future.
That's absolutely not going to be a fucking docu-series. That's going to be a fucking drama.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
There's no way in hell Vince is going to fucking let them do a no-holds-barred documentary about
no chance.
Changed so much. He's gonna talk about how he didn't get sued by the Pandas and he rebranded WWE because he wanted to. He's going to talk about all the other stuff. And true.
That Undertaker and New Day thing, though, I'm fairly certain the Boogeyman's in it. Only because I follow him on Instagram, and he put a video up, and it's a brand new filmed bit of footage of him, and it's got the WWE watermark at the bottom right, and it looks quite cinematic in the way that it's shot. So I feel like he might be in there.
Is Undertaker, he's retired, and now he's Jigsaw.
That's it.
Is this just Saw with the New Day?
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
It looks like, doesn't it? Because he's in a fucking control room looking at all screens while the New Day are freaking out.
We should do that collectively as like a watch along episode.
I think we should if we can.
You can do. There's Netflix Party, so you can all watch the thing at the same time, and there's the chat thing and everything. Yeah.
Would we be allowed to stream it on Twitch?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Look into it. It could be fun.
If not, we'll do a watch party on Discord for anyone who's listening who wants to be a part of that. Great. I'd definitely be up for that. Yeah. Moving on, WWE has announced that Triple H has undergone surgery. An official statement from WWE said Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, underwent a successful procedure last week at Yale New Haven Hospital following a cardiac event. The episode was caused by a genetic heart issue, and Paul is expected to make a full recovery.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Hell.
We hope for a speedy recovery for Big Daddy Paul.
Yeah. Genetic heart issue, does that mean he's pacemaker? Do you typically have a pacemaker after one of those?
A genetic one would mean that it's something that's hereditary, wouldn't it? Or maybe your dad's got a heart, or mum has got a heart condition, and he's kind of just inherited it.
Man, yeah, speedy recovery. That was big news. I heard that, and very worried, but
yeah, hopefully he's all right.
It is, yeah, hopefully. Moving on, friend of the podcast, Dewdrop, aka Piper Niven, FKA Viper, got married this week. So massive congratulations.
Massive indeed. She's awesome. Really nice girl.
Yeah. Very,
very happy for her.
Indeed.
Bless her. And And moving on again, Matt Menz, Andrew Zarian, friend of the podcast, said that people in WWE are very unhappy with Mick Foley after his recent criticisms of the promotion. There's an unwritten rule that WWE legends shouldn't disparage the company. I think that's bullshit because he didn't say anything wrong.
No lies detected.
He praised All Out and he said WWE need to up their fucking game.
Yeah, which is what everyone's saying.
Which is what everyone's saying.
Which is what Vince clearly said himself afterwards when that supposed text went around after All Out to like the creative team saying we need to pull our finger out.
You know the other funny thing as well. Mick Foley's son is on the creative team.
Fucking hell!
I think he's a part of NXT and 205 Live. So to be fair,
right.
But still, but yeah, no lies detected from Mick Foley. That's why Mick Foley's so beloved because he doesn't bullshit anyone. He doesn't hold the company line. He says it as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he smashed the TV up, didn't he? When who was it? There was a match that was when Daniel Bryan was left out of the Royal Rumble. He smashed the TV up and he said he would, and he did.
Fucking hell.
He's always been very critical of WWE, but it's not like he's like just shitting on them like a lot of bitter ones do. It's constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it comes from a good place. Mick wanting to see the industry get better.
Yeah.
It's not I'm going, oh, WWE's so shit.
Yeah, it's not snidey fucking comments or anything.
I mean, the meme he put up was a bit snidey, but let's
don't worry about that.
The Karrion Kross and John Morrison. But yeah, it's Mick wanting to see the industry improve, and you can't fault him for that.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No one way you could improve WWE, mate.
I'd fucking right. I've got there's many ways, but this is a step in the right direction in terms of their game that's coming out. Something they can do to improve it.
That's how.
You what?
Just do it your fucking self. That's how.
Well, yeah. Something that I think will definitely improve things, at least for the gaming wise, coming from a report by Mike Straw of Sports Gamers Online, has revealed that GM mode will finally return after a 15-year absence in the upcoming WWE 2K22 game. It said it was a top... one source, reportedly said it was a top priority. The fans clearly wanted it, and the team knew that they had the ammo to get it approved and in. That's fucking awesome. That's really cool.
How many times can you ask for something and not get it? It's weird, isn't it? It's almost like WWE games don't listen to the fans either.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. We will absolutely be doing some stuff on Twitch with GM mode.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
If you can do multiplayer.
Oh, imagine if you can do like 3 brands. Me, you, and Aaron could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Please do.
If anyone from WWE Games is listening, I'm only joking about you not listening to your fans. Send 3 copies of WWE 2K22. Thank you. Moving on to NXT now. Kushida has revealed that he's been off TV because he tested positive for COVID-19 despite being double vaccinated.
Who earns?
Yeah, he has recovered now, and he said he's due back imminently. But he's kind of wanted to give a bit of clarity on the situation to everybody.
Yeah. Get well soon, mate.
Yeah, he said as well the pandemic is still very much out there, which is true. People need to fucking remember this.
Yeah. Just because you can pop out a few places here and there, doesn't mean that it's suddenly disappeared and fucking gone. And I'm sure, unfortunately, there's likely to be another wave of it come the winter months, but just be fucking sensible and don't be a blurt about it.
Yes.
Basically. Fightful have provided an update on the new look NXT. The new NXT debuts next week, and there are still questions about the direction from talent. Fightful are told that numerous talent asked higher-ups in NXT this week and were given non-answers about what the new direction entailed. One of the few details provided in recent weeks was that NXT specifically was hoping to have more characters, although that appeared to be in a broad sense. We've heard good things from talent and staff about how the CWC has been looking over the last week. Obviously, they pre-recorded the last 3 episodes to get the CWC into shape for this new look. And they've spoken to multiple sources who said the changes physically look to be an improvement and appear to be a much more scaled down version of main roster TV sets to some degree. Talent are also in the dark about who will be running the show, with Triple H sidelined due to the aforementioned health reasons. Talent is not aware of that situation until it was made public either.
Oh, let's take in there. I mean, they didn't mention the Gunge pit, did they?
The what?
The Gunge pit.
Dave Benson Phillips.
Just the way it looks, it does look cool. Like from the
it
pictures,
looks like a scaled down version of what Raw and SmackDown used to be before they changed it up when it went back in front of crowds.
Yeah, even that, like even then, it like there's no like barriers at ringside by looks things. There's kind of just be like the raised seats. It looks similar to the set that the NWA used for their tapings.
Yeah.
In the what's it called? Soundstage, something I think. Yeah, it's going to be interesting in it to see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've also renamed Parker Boudreaux and Bronson Rex Steiner.
Yeah. Rex Steiner.
Yeah, which is funny because like they literally Rick Steiner renamed himself to Rick Steiner because it was just his surname.
Yeah.
And they've done the same thing for Bronson Rex Steiner to just Rex Steiner. If you start putting some Steiner Matt promos, I'll be fucking here for it.
Parker Boudreaux is now known as Gunnar Harland.
Gunnar Harland.
Yeah.
Because he looks like Erling Haaland on steroids.
It's like a big Norse bully.
Yes.
Fuck your shit up.
He looks like Brock's boy.
No, that's thingy Hammerstone.
Alexander Hammerstone. Literally the son of Brock.
Son of Brock. Truck stop Brock is what he looked like this week.
He's got a t-shirt that says Beef Castle and I'm here for it.
Need me one of those.
That.
Just going back to the kind of this new look NXT thing, a lot of people are shitting on it already. And
I think my issue with it is that if it's just like a sort of smaller Raw or SmackDown, it almost becomes a little bit too like sanitized, doesn't it? That's my issue. Like it's the same with like the whole, oh yeah, we're not going to hire independent wrestlers, we're going to hire athletes and we're going to train them to all wrestle the same way. It almost becomes like a production line and not a wrestling company.
Yeah.
And that's
worrying.
That's what I like. That when WWE went really shit during like fucking early 2000s, or sorry, the mid 2000s, like the end of the Ruthless Aggression era, when like
it's like when the roster was just bloated as fuck.
Yeah, when it was just big fuckers as well who couldn't play. And then they ended up hiring guys like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, who else was there? There's a couple of indie guys like Cesaro, of course, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Shinsuke, guys who have got like a bit more well-traveled, a bit more experience, know a bit more about actual wrestling and not in the American footballer who just got trained to be a wrestler.
Looks big and was trained to be a wrestler.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, because there's guys Big E who are immensely entertaining and that's their background.
Yeah, say Baron Corbin. Came from
Corbin as well.
Roman Reigns.
Roman, yeah.
Like collegiate football, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if there's nothing to make things stand out, they run the risk of it all getting kind of like just lost in a shuffle, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is what my concern of it is.
That's my concern over more the in-ring stuff, because Honestly, I don't care what the logo looks like. I don't care what the arena looks like. If what I'm watching in the ring is good, it doesn't matter too much. If you can put on a good show, fine. I don't care what the logo looks like.
At the same time, like that's why I thought NXT and NXT UK still stand out, is because it doesn't all look like the same aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because it has got a different aesthetic to it, and that's what works. It like they don't need to rebrand it. It's as I've said like multiple times, if it isn't broken, don't try and fix it.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon's a control freak and he keeps fucking trying to fix things, and just no.
Just no.
Should we, things that definitely don't need fixing, should we talk about AEW so I can get happy again? So, All Out happened last Sunday, and oh my god, what a fucking show it was. There were 3 huge debuts, and one surprise guest cameo as well, which we'll get to later. Let's start with one of the debuts. Adam Cole, baby, signed with All Elite Wrestling, and made his debut at All Out Sunday night in one of the more memorable show closers ever in wrestling. The big brass ball, they had to do that. Just drop fucking monster debut back to back. That's ballsy, and pull it off. Fuck me, well done.
Mad. Yeah.
Fightful learned a ton of news in regards to the signing. Cole's appearance didn't necessarily come as a surprise to many within WWE, as much as the company expected him to be heading to AEW as of last weekend when he let his contract expire and obviously didn't be signed. As Fightful reported, WWE had operated on the assumption that he was as good as gone by the time they sent out a memo to some within the company. And then they said still those that we spoke to within WWE had nothing but positive things to say about Adam Cole on the way out, especially the way that he handled the surprise contract expiration and extension. Which, he did the similar thing with Ring of Honor, where he made sure he finished all his storylines, extension, and then left. Nobody that Fightful spoke to within WWE was outright told by Cole that he'd be appearing at All Out, and he was hidden the night of the show. And they were told that the deal with AEW wasn't official until Sunday, but those who needed to know were informed well ahead of time, as merchandise and other aspects of the debut had to be prepared. The finish of the show was discussed among talent involved late in the evening after the CM Punk Darby Allin match. So they only really had like about 45 minutes to prepare for the actual. Not even that.
Sounds like an episode of Raw.
Yeah, but I mean, fair play, very well pulled off. Very well executed. His entrance music as well absolutely slaps.
Yeah, so, man.
Mikey Ruckus, credit where it's due for getting that together in like a week. This is very cool. I think obviously when Adam Cole like kind of went to NXT, they did the whole thing on BT, but the thing was that they were in New Japan and in Ring of Honor, they were trying to have Adam Cole usurp Kenny Omega as the leader of the Bullet Club.
Right.
And I feel like they're already
pick up where they left off.
Pretty much, yeah. It feels that way. I mean, he's said a few little sly digs at Kenny and the Bucks on Dynamite and Rampage this week, saying Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world, and it's solidified by the AEW title. Obviously, the whole like phrase being there, it's not the belt that makes the man, it's the man that makes the belt. He's saying the belt is Kenny Omega. Little dig there. Even down to like where he put the picture of him and the Bucks, like the Bucks kissing him on the cheek at All Out up, and he literally cropped out. So he cropped out Kenny on Twitter, and then on Rampage he said, "I would give my life for the Bucks. I would give my life for Kenny. They wouldn't do anything to hurt me." And it's he looked like he didn't believe what he was saying. He put a lot of effort into it. When we get that eventual Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole match, it's going to fucking be awesome.
Yes, boy.
Good. But that wasn't the only debut we got at
No. Fucking hell, no, it wasn't. So Fightful gave an update on Ruby Soho. As Fightful Select reported on August 4th, that Ruby Soho was brought into Elite Wrestling All Elite Wrestling, rather. Those that had spoken to said there was immediate interest in the form of Ruby Riott, not just from All Elite Wrestling, but from other companies and independents as well. Some were told early on that Ruby would not be taking any bookings, and that those promoters assumed, due to that she was likely AEW bound. Fightful was told as far back as July that they had heard that Soho would like the Last Story joining the company. We've also heard from numerous WWE stars who were over the moon about her appearance and debut, and how much the moment seemed to mean to her. Upon Ruby's release, there were unanimous positive reactions to Ruby personally from those that they'd spoken to, which made it unsurprising to hear that many of those within AEW were said to have pushed for her within to join the company. I was absolutely made up and over the moon that she went there. It's the best place for her. It was so good. She's fucking awesome. She was terribly underused in WWE, and hopefully sooner rather than later Liv will be able to join her as well, and she can get used properly too.
Love her.
Yeah.
The outpouring on Twitter was really nice. Like, there's so many people who were like losing the shit. It's weird as well that like WWE, like their Twitter thing is very like, you can't talk about them. And there was so many like the last couple of weeks there's been so many talent talking about like when Punk debuted. There's loads of talent tweeting about that and nothing really happened. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And the same thing for Ruby and Adam Cole and Danielson, and even stuff like where people were just talking about like matches on the card, like the Lucha Brothers Young Bucks match and stuff like that. I was just thinking,
yeah.
Either they really just don't give a shit, or
they're WWE a bit more lax about it.
Well, maybe they're like, well, we can't fire them because they'll go to AEW. Shit. Yeah, it was very cool to see. She looked
so many. Yeah, it was lovely to see the amount of people that were like on Twitter, as you say, and just been like, amazing news, congratulations, well done. Yeah.
If you haven't seen the video, The Road to Dynamite AEW put up on Tuesday, it shows her and Sarah Logan backstage, and it's just lovely. Really heartwarming.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Wholesome as fuck.
Yeah, it also talks about another person who debuted on there, which we've mentioned a few times. Stupid, sexy Bryan Danielson with his little Brock knot.
Is that what we're calling it now? A Brock knot?
I mean, are you going to tell Brock it's anything otherwise?
Nah.
Probably rip your arm off and eat it, mate. So, yeah, Bryan Danielson debuted. He didn't have the music we expected him to have. He had, I can't remember.
Flight of the Valkyrie. Oh, no, is that it?
It is called, because I've downloaded this, Born for Greatness by Elliot Taylor. It's like a rap remix of Flight of the Valkyries. But yeah, Dave Meltzer even reported that AEW did attempt to get the final countdown for Danielson. However, the rights to the song were too costly for even AEW.
Yeah, I mean,
apparently Europe wanted $250,000 a show.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, fucking hell.
How bad's that?
Fuck off, Europe. You don't need that money, you... Jeez.
They should just get Mikey Ruckus to cover it.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Just do that.
It was super hype final countdown. Meltzer also indicated that Bryan Danielson's deal with AEW is for 3 years, which, I mean, he's said nothing, but it's weird, isn't it? Like, a lot of people like kind of just shit on WWE whenever they leave, because he left, like, him and Adam Cole both left like such an amicable way.
Yeah,
that they both kind of had like really good things to say about both companies, and it is refreshing. And he said, obviously, like he said, oh yeah, I loved working there, but if I'm leaving, it's got to be for a big reason. And he's like, which hypes up how big AEW's about to become.
Mm-hmm.
Also this week, again, I didn't put in the news because there was a lot going on with AEW. AEW actually beat Raw in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is
key
like
demo.
the key demographic. Not by a lot, only by
Still, win's a win.
only by like 50 and 20,000 people, but hopefully that's gonna be like the thing where Vince goes, oh shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Thing is, 18 to 40 odd. That's AEW's key demographic.
Yeah.
Is that Raw's key demographic? Because Raw feels like a kids show.
Raw's key demographic is an audience of one, mate, which is a 75-year-old child.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, Raw generally feels like it's geared towards a slightly younger audience.
It is, but then the time slot is why it's the key demographic, because their time it's 8 or 7, depending on where you are.
I think it's 6 or 7. Yeah. SmackDown's later. SmackDown's 8 over there.
Yeah.
But you can tell, like, you watch the two, SmackDown feels like the more mature show of the two.
Yeah, they both start at 7, 8. So, even though it's a PG company, like, because of the time slot, that's why it's the key demographic. Because they're the most people who are going to be watching TV at that time. So,
it's interesting. You were saying about kind of the fact that both Bryan and Cole left on those amicable terms, and had kind of nothing but positive things to say about the company afterwards. But it's mad how, like, I think we were saying just before we started recording, about the kind of offer that WWE were putting on the table for Bryan before he left. And they
literally were like breaking all their rules.
Basically, like, the forbidden door, if you like, allowing him to go and wrestle in the G1 as part of his deal if he re-signed with WWE. And he still said no.
And he's still going to do that with AEW.
Exactly.
We're still going to get Bryan versus Ishii. We're going to get Bryan versus Okada.
Oh.
Stop it.
Yeah, that for me, like, speaks kind of volumes, where you've got someone like WWE who are willing to break kind of everything that they are so kind of like dead against in order to keep someone, and he still doesn't want to stay there.
Well, also, I mean, back to the Adam Cole thing, one thing, again, I forgot to put a few little bits in the news this week. One thing we didn't mention was that the plans for Adam Cole got leaked.
Jesus, yeah.
And they were going to change his name. They were going to make him a heel manager for Keith.
Hang on, they were going to change his name?
Yeah. Because they didn't want fans getting confused with Adam Cole and Michael Cole. That's the other thing. Treat your fans stupid, then you're going to fucking lose them, aren't you? But yeah, they were going to change his name. They were going to make him a heel manager for Keith Lee. And the no disrespect to Keith Lee, because he's one of my favorites, but when you've got like one of the best wrestlers in the world, don't hamstring him by making him a fucking manager. It was they were comparing it to Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley, and I was upset about that too, because Leo Rush is phenomenal. And again, don't put like a fucking amazing wrestler as a manager. What's the point?
Yeah,
he did it with Sami Zayn, didn't he? When he was Nakamura's manager. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Seriously.
Hang on. Do you not remember the match that they had in NXT a few years ago, and now you've just got a mouthpiece for him?
That's literally one of the matches I show people to get them into wrestling. Yeah. Because it's incredible. And it doesn't have any story. It doesn't have any build-up. It's just two guys.
It's just two guys that can go. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what's so infuriating. No, it's and Bryan Danielson, to go back to Bryan Danielson, he said a really good point. He said, obviously, it was kind of like a parallel to what CM Punk said when he said, "Oh yeah, in 2005 I left professional wrestling, and now I'm back." Whereas Bryan said, "I didn't leave professional wrestling because I take wrestling wherever I go."
Nice.
And he does. He made WWE and that's why he was so popular, because he fucking actually just wrestled. Yeah. And people are like, "This is great."
Yeah.
It's like WWE is like most ashamed of the fucking wrestling part of their name.
Just change your name.
Just change it to fucking Playdays, mate. Fucking do it. That's what you want it to be. Fucking entertainment. Change it to something entertainment. Yeah, but this is a very, very cool big shift in wrestling right now. I think I was talking to on the AW All Out podcast, which if you haven't listened to, go listen to. Me and Big Tasty break it down beat by beat, and we talk about the importance of that show, which it really was like probably the most important wrestling show since the first Double or Nothing. That wasn't a WWE show, of course. And yeah, it's definitely the most excited I've been to be an AEW fan since Double or Nothing, the first one, where like at the end when Moxley just walked through the crowd and beat the shit out of Kenny Omega, and I was like, oh my god,
something's happening here.
This is big, and this is the like this was like them outdoing themselves. By having Adam Cole come out and me like Big Tasty missed a trick by not filming my reaction because I was half asleep. And all of a sudden, I was on my feet, like dancing around my living room at like 5 a.m. because Adam Cole came out, and then it was like the Chris Pratt meme where he like turned around like, and then I turned to Big Tasty as Daniel Bryan's music fucking hits, and it was going, they're doing both now. Oh my god! It was one of the coolest moments of the wrestling for a long time, and like you just keep kind of hitting these home runs at the moment. It's like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about another signing for the All Elite Boys?
Yeah, man. They announced a signing this week of independent wrestler standout Lee Moriarty. Good shit.
He is awesome. He designs Danhausen's merchandise as well because he's a top lad.
Does he?
He designed the most of them. Well, the best selling one was the CM Punk shirt that Danhausen has.
Nice.
Which I own. But yeah, also don't let that disguise the fact that he's a phenomenal wrestler. He is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
The thought of Lee Moriarty versus Bryan Danielson at some point is amazing. He's had some really good matches with Wheeler Yuta, who's also in AEW, so that's going to get that on a bigger stage is going to be cool. He's also had some very good matches with Daniel Garcia again. Also in AEW. Yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah.
He is absolutely one to watch. He's a guy I think will, in a couple of years' time, be spoken about as being one of the best wrestlers in the world, especially said like a guy like Jonathan Gresham said he's, in his opinion, one of the best wrestlers in the world today. And
and that's coming from Jonathan Gresham, who's one of the best wrestlers in the world today.
Yeah. So, yeah. High praise, very good wrestler. He said, check out his match with Wheeler Yuta if you want to get like an idea of what he's about. He also, his other big thing he did recently was he ended Warhorse's, I can't remember how long, I think it was like a 2-year reign with the IWTV World Championship.
Damn.
And then he lost it like quite quickly to Wheeler Yuta, but still, like he broke that reign, which Warhorse was like unbeaten. So that was very cool. Yeah. He's absolutely one to watch. Go check out his match with Wheeler Yuta. It's fucking fun. Moving on, about potential return now. We spoke about him earlier. Tony Elite revealed on his Twitter that he's in talk with Leo Rush about a return to AEW. He said, I see a lot of tweets talking about Leo Rush today, because Leo Rush announced a new album. Coincidentally, I've been talking to Leo Rush a lot recently about return to AEW, and it feels like that's something that could happen in the near future.
Even though Leo Rush is retired twice now?
Don't worry about it. He's a new Teddy Punk, mate. Don't worry about it.
Just fucking make your mind up, boy.
Yeah. I think with Leo, it seems like he's got like a lot of sort of, he's got his fingers in a lot of pies, doesn't he? Like he's got his music career. He was doing a lot of wrestling wise. He was like kind of still honoring his dates for New Japan before he retired. So maybe it's kind of like he's got a bit more of that passion about it, and he feels like he's maybe. But
wasn't he rehabbing an injury as well? He went through surgery not too long ago. Was it just after he came in the
He literally got injured in that match. It was when he did that cut to Matt Hardy, like his shoulder, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be injured and not be able to like kind of provide
hold my child."
Yeah, because he couldn't, because he fucked his arm. But yeah, I mean, you've got to think as well, if he's kind of got like a handshake agreement with AEW and he's seeing all the talent they're bringing in, and he's like,
I want some of that.
I could wrestle CM Punk, I could wrestle Bryan Danielson,
Wrestle Adam Cole.
I could wrestle Adam Cole, baby. I could wrestle even some of the guys they've already got that he's not wrestled yet.
Darby Allin. Jungle
Darby,
Boy.
Darby Leo Rush would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Reignite his feud with Joey Janela on a grander stage.
Oh, yes. Bring back is it Blackheart, his character? It's kind of like his version of the Demon.
Yeah. Blackheart's good. Blackheart's fucking awesome. If he does some Blackheart, there's Darby Allin. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. I think he's probably seen that and gone, and he's been wrestling some really good matches in New Japan as well.
Yeah.
Probably like seeing that, he's kind of like reignited his passion for it by wrestling for New Japan and gone, maybe I should come. Maybe it's the time. Maybe it's a bit too exciting a time to come back.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very excited to see what Leo does because he's excellent.
Yeah. This past week, PWI revealed their top 500 wrestlers in the world. And in ascending numerical order, number 10, Rich Swann. Number 9, Shingo Takagi. Number 8, Finn Balor. Number 7, Will Ospreay. Number 6, Jon Moxley. Number 5, Kota Ibushi. Number 4, Drew McIntyre. 3, Bobby Lashley. 2, head of the table, Roman Reigns. And number 1, Kenneth Omega.
The belt collector.
The belt collector.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Do you agree with that top 10?
I think they'd be hard pressed to pick anyone but Kenny.
Yeah.
Because it's all down to the fact that he's held world titles for other companies as well as the AEW one. And his title reign has been very good. Apparently, PWI actually spoke about it, and he said they had like an hour debate about whether it was going to be Kenny or Roman.
Really?
So they've put a lot of thought into this. I think I'm not sure 100% on the time thing. I think it's literally like not the calendar year, but I think it's like it's the way it is. It's from like now to this time last year. So
like September through September or August. Sort of thing.
Or could be in August through August. So during the pandemic, obviously Roman took the time off because he didn't want to risk his health. Fair enough. But I think that's like kind of what like tweeted because like he wasn't wrestling for the entire judging period.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to be fair, he's still done an incredible job. But other than that, looking at the list, maybe take Rich Swann out the top 10.
Yeah.
But then it's because he was the Impact champion. He was having good matches as Impact champion. And I'd probably switch Shingo and Will Ospreay. If I'm being honest.
In terms of position.
Yeah.
7 and 9. Yeah.
Keep Finn there. Keep Mox there. Keep Kota there.
Drew's in there because he just carried the company basically throughout that pandemic.
Yeah.
Like he was champion for the whole thing. Lashley has been champion since... When did he beat Bobby? I can't remember. February? Okay. Decent amount of time. Roman's been champion for a little over a year now.
Yeah, and Kenny's been champ since December. But then
who do you feel personally has been the more compelling champion, Roman or Kenny? Because whilst Kenny's had all of the different belts, rarely defends the AAA, rarely defends all of them. Whereas, like, I'm just trying to gauge.
He defended the Impact one quite frequently for Impact.
Okay.
It's hard to it's like it's a really hard choice, and I can see why they took an hour to deliberate.
Yeah.
I think it's weird. I think Kenny's has probably been a little bit more compelling based on the fact that like he did like full heel turn when he won the belt, whereas Roman did the heel turn and he won the belt, and then he did like the sort of Jey Uso stuff, and that was a lot of a slower build to where we are now with Roman. Whereas Kenny was like we knew it was there. He'd been teasing it for a long ass time, and then when he won it, then he got Don Callis, he reformed the Elite. The story work that both guys have done, like, that's not to take away from both guys, and it is literally by a hair that I choose it.
Yeah.
But I think just based on the whole Hangman story with Kenny and all that as well, I think Kenny's been very exciting to watch. Yeah, and also, as I say, it's unprecedented that someone in this day and age holds like 4 world titles at the same time.
Different promote, like all over the place. Yeah.
And you just got to watch like the work he's done in like the other companies as well, like AAA, Impact. The problem Roman has is that he's kind of like shackled to the one thing, which is SmackDown.
Yeah.
Obviously, Survivor Series, he had the match with Drew, but he's been shackled to that, and also he's not had like a wealth of different opponents. Like, he was in a big long feud with Kevin Owens, in a big.
Who's he had? Edge, Bryan.
Yeah, but
Owens,
he
Cesaro.
went back to Edge and Bryan as well, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He had James so for like 3 months, then he had Kevin Owens for 3 months.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Whereas Kenny had like the feud with Moxley, and then he had like Orange and Pac, and then he had the match with Phoenix on an episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
Which was fucking insane.
Match with Jungle Boy as well.
He had the match with Jungle Boy. He had Christian. He wrestled twice. And then that's not including like his match with Andrade in AAA, his match with Moose in Impact, his match with Rich Swann in Impact.
That's true.
The 6-man they had against Moose, Rich Swann, and
on Impact.
Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
So I think just because it's because he's had the benefit of being able to go and work for other companies.
Yeah.
That's why I personally put Kenny. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably agree, but as you say, he's fortunate that he's in that position where he can go to other companies. If AEW didn't have that working agreement with other companies, would he still be at number 1? If he was just AEW champion, it was just based on his work in AEW, would he still be at number 1?
I think so. I think the storyline that he's been working, which has been a really long build storyline.
Him and Hangman.
Like, it's literally been since like the inception of the company. They've been kind of like the two kind of like parallels.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and again they come close to each other like passing chips and then move away. And then eventually we're going to get that match, and eventually we're going to have Hangman dethrone Kenny, and it's going to be probably one of AEW's defining moments.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
The fact that like but it's a weird thing again, because they're both essentially playing the same role. That they're that champion that doesn't seem like they're ever going to get toppled. And then when they do, it's going to make a guy.
Yeah.
Like when provided WWE doesn't do what WWE do all the fucking time and have Roman drop it to like Goldberg or Brock or even The Rock.
Yeah.
Provided Roman drops it to a guy who's going to get made by him, become a made man by him winning.
Keith Lee.
Like Keith Lee, like Big E. Like even someone from fucking NXT a couple of years from now who comes up and just...
Odyssey Jones.
Fucking Gable Steveson, mate.
Yeah.
Like, provided they literally use this reign to give somebody the rub to make them a star, then both guys are playing the exact same role. That's what I mean. It's like comparing Batmans. Like Michael Keaton and Bale are the two that always get like sort of like said are the two best ones.
Yeah.
But it's two totally different films, because the Bale one's a lot more gritty and serious.
Yeah.
Whereas the Keaton one's Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Tim Burton, and it's almost like sort of campy in its darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's like. That's what I mean. It just depends what day like.
Yeah.
Roman could go out tomorrow and have like that match with Finn Balor, or not tomorrow, like in a couple of weeks, could have that match with Finn Balor, and it'd be absolutely fucking outstanding. And then I'd be like, oh, maybe that would edge me a bit. But
yeah.
Right this second, it would be Kenny.
Fair enough.
But again, by a fucking hair.
Yeah.
I also Kenny got brownie points for absolutely eviscerating Will Ospreay on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, that was good.
When Will Ospreay said I could beat number one again, Kenny was just like, "Mate, your company's gone cold." the only competition I've got from a big dog. So yeah, Kenny gets brownie points for making Will Ospreay understand, and also acknowledging Roman at the same time.
Yeah.
Moving on from that very interesting discussion, this is something I'm very fucking excited about. Is in just over a week, AEW Grand Slam at the Arthur Ashe Arena in Queens, New York. And a friend of the podcast, Andrew Zarian, has come through with the news saying this Queen show is going to be something really special for AEW and the fans in the building.
Oh.
So
what do you reckon? He's got a cheeky signing up his sleeve that he's going to unveil.
Nah,
or is it going to be Hangman?
I think it could be Hangman coming back. They've announced 2 matches. That being Malachi Black versus Cody, which has given me the absolute fear. Because Cody don't lose twice.
Whoa, he fucking win on this occasion. Kick the tattoo off his neck.
I hope that the Pepsi man slaps Cody so hard that his tattoo turns into a Pepsi logo. And the other one being the Varsity Blondes versus MJF and Stupid Sexy Wardlow. Which
nice.
Two very good matches. I get the impression they're probably going to have Bryan Danielson's AEW in-ring debut.
Yeah.
I reckon they might maybe do him and Kenny in a non-title match, and then Hangman shows up at the end.
Yeah.
Good
shout.
Yeah, they're also teasing they're going to do Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy in a hair versus hair match for reasons. But I'm sure AEW, I trust them completely. They've got no reason. They've not strayed me wrong yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
But it could also be a tease for this next thing, given the way the dates line up.
Could be, because there's a possibility that Bray Wyatt's non-compete clause is actually only 60 days. That's a report coming out from the Wrestling Observer this week. They say it appears Bray Wyatt, it appears, will be there either Impact or AEW. If it's AEW, the talk is that it would be on the 29th of September on that episode of Dynamite, which is in Rochester, New York, which is Brody Lee's home. If not there, then soon after. But that would be a lovely, lovely touch if it was. It really, really would.
Oh, what if he's the guy who's going to reunite the Dark Order? Not as the leader, just
but just yeah.
Oh, that'd be lovely. I'd like that. And then he either that or he's like comes skulking out the fucking forbidden door like the Babadook and just murders somebody. With a new fiend mask.
Yeah.
Just slithers out, gets Minoru Suzuki. They're doing a lot of teasing that something fucking bad. Some big bad coming out that forbidden door.
There is.
Moxley said you never know what's waiting on the other side of the door, and obviously Murder Grand came out and did a bad murder on him.
Mm-hmm.
But what if there's something worse than Murder Grand?
Whoa! It's like that episode of What If, where the big fucking octopus tentacle things come out. That's Bray.
Oh, imagine Bray's Cthulhu. Yeah. What if like? I mean, that's exciting in itself. That, again, Bray's a game changer.
Yeah.
Like
huge signing.
Who would he feud with first?
Oh. Don't know.
He's already teased feuding with Punk.
Is he?
Before Punk even came back. He teased feuding with Punk, and he mentioned Brody.
Oh, okay.
Like saying Brody wouldn't want to see us fighting.
Oh, yes. Also, because he put the picture up of them, didn't he? Yeah.
Because Punk said something to Bray. I can't remember what it was. That'd be good.
Oh, it would.
That being said, Punk's got his fucking hands full. He called out absolute Ricky Starks. He's gonna fucking
hell, good luck.
Fucking pay. I made a big mistake.
Absolutely all the belts, Ricky Starks.
All the belts, absolute Ricky Starks. If for whatever reason Pretty Deadly ever leaves WWE, put them in team tabs with Ricky Starks. Call them absolutely deadly. Dream faction right there.
Absolutely deadly. With the best drip in the game.
The drip would be obscene. They need to fucking censor. Need all the wet floor signs.
Oh man.
Yeah. Shall we talk about? There's a few little bits about the rest in the world.
There is. Go on. Then.
So Ring of Honor have announced a couple of signings. The signing of Roxy, Miranda Elise, and Max the Impaler to their women's division. They also announced 2 former NXT stars will be showing up at Death Before Dishonor, facing each other. In fact, as Jake Atlas will face Taylor now, Rust, formerly Tyler Rust of the Diamond Mine.
Awesome.
Yeah, Roxy.
Jake Atlas is fucking awesome.
He's great. So Tyler Rust, to be fair.
Yeah.
Very good. Obviously, Roxy and Miranda Elise are the finals of the women's title tournament, so it makes sense that they both get signed before fighting for the women's title.
Yeah.
Max the Impaler has been a standout as well. She's got such a cool look.
Really?
She looks like a Mad Max character. She's got like a fucking predator mask that she comes out in. She's absolutely badass.
Fucking yeah. Oh, I recognise it. Yeah, she looks awesome.
She's just a destroyer. That's all she's been doing, just destroying the women's division.
That's a quality looking character.
Yeah. And she even found time to shit all over her carrying Cross's mask. Again, I made mine myself and it looks better than that.
Oh dear.
But yeah, Ring of Honor doing some really good work at the moment. And hopefully they get the Forbidden Door open, because I want to see Jonathan Gresham and Bryan Danielson
mate, please
just wrestle.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Oh no, PWG did Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty recently.
Yeah, they did.
They could do it in PWG. Danhausen's already requested that Super Gorilla
Super Gorilla
give him CM Punk and Bryan Danielson a trio team. that tweet, if anyone hasn't seen it, is hilarious. I have a good laugh about that. Stupid sexy Danhausen.
And finally, rest of the world news. MLW have announced the signing of friend of the podcast, Danny Limelight, who is now going by the name of Rivera, and Slice Boogie as well. And they are part of the new LAX.
Yeah, they actually debuted.
I was going to say, didn't he debut like a few weeks ago?
Riot. Yeah. I think because he was a guy that AEW were trying to like showcase. Was Danny Limelight, and Slice Boogie was actually doing some work with NWA.
Okay.
Neither got signed to a deal, and I think it's one of those things. He said to AEW like he wants to come back and work there. He just wanted a bit more of an opportunity and a bit more time to kind of prove himself, which is fair. Because he is very, very good at the wrestle.
He is.
Yeah, interesting time as well in MLW, because obviously they've got LAX showing up, and they've also got Azteca Underground.
Woo-hoo.
There's a war brewing in MLW. For anyone who doesn't watch MLW but does miss Lucha Underground, all their shows their weekly TVs are free on YouTube. I think they go up an hour before Dynamite, and it's about an hour. So if you want a third hour of wrestling for whatever obscene reason that may be,
third hour of quality wrestling, though.
But it's a third hour of quality wrestling and not fucking replays and just trash. MLW is the place to go because they have got a very, very, very stacked roster.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the news. Don't think we've got any questions on the old Discord. I did ask.
No.
Did anyone knock on the Forbidden Door of the podcast? No, we did not. Scumbags.
Sweet. Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciated as always. If you're not already, join our Discord community because it's fucking awesome, and numbers in there are going up, and there's chats and banter across all the different channels. Really, really good. Well worth joining.
Channel dedicated to Danhausen as well.
Channelhausen.
Yeah, we still haven't got a "don't worry about it" emoji though. Which
I'm working on it. I'll do it today.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So yeah, you can find us on Discord at Untitled Rest Pod. You can also find us on Twitter at Untitled Rest Pod, and on Facebook and YouTube at Untitled Wrestling Podcast, and on Twitch at Untitled Rest Pod. So there's all the social medias.
We'll be doing some twitching at some point today, won't we?
Yeah, Border lads on tour.
Border lads on tour. We'll also be doing some co-op Legends mode Ghosts of Tsushima, because it might be the best game ever made.
It could be. It could be up there
for me.
Yeah,
it could be my favorite game ever. Loving it. Loving that. Yes.
Right. Catch you next time, guys. All the best. Take care.
Bye.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Do you like beer? Of course you do. Do you like wrestling? You wouldn't be here if you didn't. Check out topropebrewing.com, our very own Big Tasties brewery. They do a great deal of wrestling-themed beers, including Cold Stone Cream Austin Ice Cream Pale Ale and Papa Mango Pale Ale also. They also do an array of T-shirts, masks, cans, and mini kegs. Check out topropebrewing.com, or if you live in the Liverpool area, go to the Brew Tap in Bootle.
And thatface.com, where if you've got a minging beard, you can get beard balms, oils, and grooming kits. They also do apparel. If you put whatever you want in your basket and then go, Aaron, where do you get your discount? You go into the promo code at the bottom, type in UWP20 for 20% off. And proceeds of your purchase do go to testicular cancer charities.
You must love this podcast house and the Untitled Wrestling Podcast House.